Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Inside Guns with your host, me, the Yankee Marshal. Today I want to talk to you about something that I've been talking about for a long time. Remember how I've told you many times how when you fall prey to the fearmongers and the people who want to exploit your fears and your anger and even your prejudices, and I'm not talking racial prejudices, I just mean political prejudices. You know, they want to get you riled up every time a Democrat does anything that might be considered anti-gun, even if it has zero chance of actually having any effect on anything. And I say we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't be running around crying wolf. If something's not got any chance of passing, it's okay to mention it and it's okay to talk about it, but don't act like the sky's falling because Sheila Jackson Lee put forward this bill, like she's put forward every fucking session since she's been in Congress, where it's anti-gun. And even though it's never had a co-sponsor, and not going to get a co-sponsor this time and never going to make it out of committee, they try to get everybody all riled up. And I've talked about how the bad thing about this is not only are fearful, angry people easily manipulated and very predictable, but also when you're angry about things like that, you tend to miss things that could go through, especially things that are put forward by Republicans. Now, I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, that can't be because Republicans are pro-gun and Democrats are anti-gun. Neither party's pro-gun. It's just one party gives us more lip service than the other. I don't know about you, but I'm sick of lip service. I want a little more for my money, if you know what I mean. So Republicans, they blab pro-gun, but if you look back through history at all the anti-gun stuff, it's been primarily, I would say a good 55% of it under Republican rule. So I don't buy the shit that they're pro-gun. And look at every time we have 100% Republican rule. House, Senate, President. Do we get any pro-gun laws? No, they don't do anything to solve any issues with gun laws or, pass a law that would invalidate a lot of California crap or anything like that. No, they never do. Just like every time it's Democrats in the House, Senate, Congress, we never see any big anti-gun legislation. That's all stuff they love to keep on, on the fire so that they can make a hay about it during elections. They don't want to try to do something about it or else they would, not have one of their talking points. And they wouldn't have one of the things that divides people. They wouldn't be able to say, well, we tried to do something about guns, but the Republicans stopped us. And the Republicans couldn't say, well, we tried to secure your gun rights, but the Democrats stopped us. That's one of their big talking points. They don't want to give that away. And one of the things that's happening right now, like I've been telling people, that proves Republicans are not any more pro-gun than Democrats. They're just a little sneakier about it and a little smarter about it. Sheila Jackson Lee is borderline retarded. And I use that word very graciously, the word borderline. I'm being very generous there by saying borderline. But other people are a little sneakier, like Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio just introduced a bill again that would allow the government to, if you've ever been investigated as a person of interest for any type of domestic terrorism, all that terrorism that's going on nowadays, they're like, homegrown terrorism is the biggest threat and homegrown terrorists are more dangerous than people from overseas. Well, that's always been the case. That's nothing new. Of course, there's more likely to be a terrorist act by someone who's actually here than someone who's 6,000 miles away or however far away they are. That just makes sense. That's like that stupid statistic that says most accidents happen within 5 miles of the home. Well, that's because you spend 85% of your time within 5 miles of your home. So, it's just ridiculous. Like, shark attacks mostly happen in shallow water. That's because that's where the fucking people are. It doesn't have anything to do with the actual fact that sharks like to attack in shallow water. It's just stupid statistics. But like I was saying, Marco Rubio is putting forward a bill that if you've ever been investigated for domestic terrorism, you should be put on a list. And no one gets to control who's on that list. Once you're on that list, the way to get off of it is pretty much to die and hope your kids don't have the same name as you, or they'll probably be on the list. He wants to put on a list everyone, like I said, has ever been investigated, not convicted of, investigated for domestic terrorism. And then if they ever try to buy a gun, that puts off a red flag at the Department of Justice. They delay your purchase for 10 days and file a petition with the court to deny your purchase. Even if you've never been convicted of anything. The government just went, that guy looks suspicious. or he was somewhere he shouldn't be, or talked to somebody he shouldn't have talked to. So we're putting him on a list. Just like the no-fly list. No one ever knows how they get on it, and they don't know how to get off. So they want another list where they can put people on, but this time to deny them their gun rights. This is Republicans. They want to make a government list that they control, only they know who's on it, and they can deny you your gun rights simply for being on it, just because they ever even decided to look at you. And pretty much any time they wanted to look at anyone, they can investigate anyone. They can just be like, oh, this guy buys a lot of guns, let's investigate him. Oh, turns out he's not connected to anything. He never does anything wrong. He's a good, upstanding citizen, but he's been investigated, so he's going to go on that list. And then he's not going to be able to buy a gun. We're going to stop him. And also in that bill, if you did buy a gun and you're on that list, that in itself could be reason for arrest and imprisonment. So this is the type of stuff that Republicans are putting forward. This is a very sneaky type of gun control. At least Sheila Jackson Lee is dumb enough that she writes it on the fucking wall with spray paint, and everyone goes, oh, no, we can't ever do that publicly. People would scream at us and throw us out of our job. Marco Rubio and his ilk, they do sneaky shit, put you on secret lists, etc. And that's what he's trying to do now. Now, I'm not saying this is going to pass. And I hope it doesn't. I think he's introduced this before and it didn't pass. But he's introducing it again. And I do think it got sponsorship, but co-sponsors, but I don't think it passed. But now, who knows if it might pass the Senate now with Democrat control. So you got a Republican introducing something that would take the gun out of the hands of a lot of people. If there's any Democrats that really want that to happen, this is their opportunity. They wouldn't even have to have any other Republicans be on their side. But I'm sure they would get some. So that's what I want to point out to people. When you worry about idiots who wave big flags around like, I'm going to take your guns, like Sheila Jackson Lee, and you allow loudmouths and big bloated blowhards on the internet to make scare videos about it, to frighten you over something that you shouldn't even be concerned about, you should be cognizant of, aware of, but you shouldn't be really upset about or angry about. In fact, it's more sad than anything else. When they get you all riled up about that stuff, and then they don't mention the stuff like Rubio, because they're like, oh, that's a Republican, and I'll get up people. Some people will get mad. Some people won't use my discount codes. They might not watch my next video, so my advertising rates will go down, and Leviathan won't give me as much money. So they let that kind of stuff slide. And then you don't even see it, and you ignore it because you're so mad at Sheila Jackson Lee, that nobody, that you ignore someone like Mark Rubio who just might get something through that is very dangerous, like this legislation that he's proposing. So wake up, everybody. Stop living your life through identity politics and start paying attention to both sides, because neither of them is on our side as far as free citizens are concerned. And these people that just want to point at the Democrats or point at the stuff that they know will make you angry, that will stoke prejudices that you have, that will reaffirm the things you already believe. You know, a reassuring lie is more valuable to them than an inconvenient truth. As long as you allow those people to decide what you should pay attention to and allow them to manipulate you, like I said, you're going to spend too much time looking at the Sheila Jackson Lees and too little time paying attention to the Marco Rubios, and our rights are going to go out the window. All right, with that little bit of negativity out of the way, I want to move on to what I consider to be my favorite part of the show, gun talk. And today I want to talk about something that I actually talked about a very long time ago in a video. In fact, if you want to go back and watch a really boring old video of me when I first started doing videos, I'll put a link in the upper corner here to it. But in that video, I was talking about the Sig Sauer P250 and how the thing I liked most about it was the fact that it had that FCU, that little firing control unit that you could take out and put in different bodies of the gun, put different slides with it, etc. And there were a lot of reasons I liked it. One reason I liked it for was because, hey, if you live in a state that only allows you one gun on your carry permit, the little FCU is the only part of it that's actually registered. You register that serial number. You can have a compact, full size, subcompact, all on just having one gun registered. So I loved that. But what I said about it that I liked the most is I was like, hey, this could be the future. It could be eventually, and when we go to a gun shop, you just go up to a machine, push buttons and say, I want this frame, and I want this slide, and I want this barrel, and I want it to have this many rounds, and be this caliber, and blah, blah, blah. And then you come back in an hour and your gun's ready. Well, we've made a big step towards that right now, but instead of going to a gun shop, you do it online. Sig Sauer now has a place where you go, and it's been up for a while now, I just haven't had time to mention it, where you go and you buy an FCU, and then a la carte, you put together your gun. You choose your frame, including the new AGX frames or AXG, I can never remember which one they're called, you know, the aluminum frames, including that one. You can get that frame, you can get regular frames, any size frame, frames with lasers built into them. And then you move on, you choose your slide, including slides that have some of those fancy cuts on them, like the Gucci Glocks, ones that are cut for red dots. You know, you have a full selection of slides there, different finishes, plain stainless, etc. Then you move on, you choose your barrel. Then you move on and you choose your recoil, your guide rod and your recoil spring. I mean, you build this gun piece by piece until you're done. And like I said, it's priced a la carte as you go. You see the exact price of every step you take. And then at the end, you have a gun made perfect for you the way you want it. One of my viewers, Karen W., in fact, when she was chosen as the friend of the month, she chose to use her gift certificate to build a SIG. She went and custom built one. That's what she did with her gift certificate for being the friend of the month. So we have a viewer that's already put this to use. And she carries it now. She says she loves it because she built it the way she wanted it. So like I was saying back then, I think this was the future, and it's turning out, it kind of is. I can't wait till we see more of this, where you have to buy like a firing control unit or 2 or 3 of them. Now, when they first came out with the P250s and the 320s, I had to pull every string and call in every favor I could to get one of just the FCUs. I actually have a video about that where I got just the FCU a long time ago. Now, you can just buy them and then build your gun around it. And there's other guns that are using that type of platform now. You know, the Walthers are using that. There are some little Berettas that use that. So there are other guns that are coming into this fold of using these little FCUs, these firing control units, and I'm hoping to see it in more guns, to where every gun you have, you can pull the unit out of it and change the frame and change the slide. And you can just go, I'm going to order my Beretta 92 unit, and then I'm going to build it the way I want it. You know, it wouldn't be a Beretta 92, it'd be a Beretta something else. But the APX, I think actually the Beretta APX does use this system. So that's the future, like I said, and I think it's coming to pass. And if anyone wants to go over and check it out, it's fun to go over and put the configurations together. But like I said, these little firing control units, I thought that was the future, where you get to build your own custom gun and then just wait for it to be delivered. The only thing I would think that would make it better now is if you could just make it and have it delivered to your door, or maybe eventually we'll have machines sophisticated enough. You just choose your pieces, pay for the rights, and then boop, you print it out right there at home or replicate it at home or whatever we do. But for now, this is the next best thing. Just being able to get on the website, order a gun that's chosen by you, every piece up front. You don't have to do it later, so you don't end up with all these extra parts laying around. To me, I think that's a great idea. So if anyone's looking to build their own custom EDC, you might want to check out Sig Sauer's website. All right, as usual, I want to end the show today with our viewer EDC of the day. Today's concealed carrier is Manny G. Now, when Manny first contacted me today, the picture was horrible. So I sent him back an email saying, do you have a better picture? Because the gun he was carrying, I definitely wanted to show people. It is a Korth Skyhawk from Nighthawk Custom 1911s. Nighthawk imports the Korths, and this is the little 9mm. If you're not familiar with this gun, this is probably the best 9mm pistol ever made. It's actually built around the 9mm caliber. It's not just a 38 gun that's actually, you know, just rebored for 9mm. It is actually, the cylinder is the right length to be made for that round. Really cuts down on the size of the gun. And it's a very unique looking gun. Loved this gun, always wanted one. And he's carrying it in his man spanks here. He calls it a Bravo belt, but it's clearly a man girdle. But even though he's carrying in his man girdle, I'm not going to take the time right now to make fun of Manny G. I got nothing negative to say about him other than fuck you, Manny G, for actually getting one of these when I've never seen one in the wild outside a SHOT Show. I hate you, and I want you to know that. But I don't want to bitch at Manny G right now. Who I want to bitch at is Nighthawk. See, when these first came out, these were called the Sky Marshal. Marshall. Yankee Marshall. My name is actually Marshall. Everybody in high school called me that. And this was the Sky Marshal. Of course, I had to get one. Had my name on it. But then Nighthawk starts importing these for cores, and they like, we want our name in it, so we're going to call it the Skyhawk. Wasn't that a crappy Pontiac or something from back in the day? Who the fuck wants that? But then doesn't have my name on it anymore because of that bullshit. So I just want to say that to Nighthawk. I am still holding a grudge, even though I've bought guns from you since. I'm still holding a grudge about that. One, the fact that I've never been able to find one of them. And two, you changed my name. You changed the name of it and took my name off of it. I like to think that was my name on the gun. But apparently not. So I wanted to say that. Just a little venting here. It's my show. I can vent. I get to get that off my chest a little bit. I'd like to get a little more off my chest. I'd like to get these down to like a B cup. But get that off my chest right now. But other than that, that's our viewer EDC of the day, Manny G, and he's carrying a very unique gun that I'm sure very few people have, and I think is totally awesome. The Korth Skyhawk, or I like to think of it still as the Sky Marshal. And like I said, he's carrying in his man spanks his Bravo belt. All right, everybody, that's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you come back tomorrow. Before we go anywhere, I want to let everybody know, if you're waiting for one of the K9 unit patches or pins, I did send out a bunch more of them. You know, the ones that were lost by the post office the first time around. I got the patches in. So if you're getting just a patch, it's in the mail. If you're getting a patch and a pin, you got about a 50% chance that you're going to get one because I still haven't got enough pins yet. They haven't come in. The patches did, so I went ahead and got them sent out. So if you're waiting for just the patch, it should be on its way there now. If you're waiting for the patch and the pin, cross your fingers. If you don't get it soon, you'll get it in a few weeks when the pins come in. Also, I want to remind everyone that we are doing the Resident Evil Samurai Edge grip giveaway for the Berettas, the Beretta Samurai Edge, over on my website, tympistolproject.com. Go over there, check it out. If you're interested, sign up. The money goes to help the Pets and Vets Fund. It's going to cover some shortages we've had in that account lately, especially because of the loss of all those items by the post office. So if you want to help out, or you just think you might like to win one of those grips, go over there and maybe sign up to win one. Also, while you're over there, check out TYM Triple P. If you think it's something that might benefit you, sign up for it. If you think it's something you would like to support, then go on over to my Patreon page at patreon.com/The Yankee Marshal and become a supporter of the channel. This channel is 100% viewer funded. When I say that it's true, I'm not giving discount codes to get kickbacks like someone else who keeps loving saying I'm 100% viewer funded and then does discount codes, which is getting paid directly from the manufacturer. I don't do any of that stuff or any of those tricks. I don't get paid by manufacturers. Totally viewer funded. So if you want to be one of those, like I said, sign up, become a posse member. And with that being said, I'll sign off as usual by saying, as far as the state of the world today is concerned, well, it is what it is. But you know what? What it will be in the future, if we keep our heads about us, we pay attention to what's going on around us, we don't let prejudices, identity politics, the fear mongers, and the profiteers cloud our vision, and we do what we need to do to fight for our rights, what things will be in the future is better.